Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. I'm just kind of waking up. It's a wonderful crisp morning here, and we're about to hit the road in Dad's van. It's going to be a super fun trip, and I'm going to be sharing some videos on my channel along the way, but this is the first big trip in my dad's van, and he's going to be looking at all the little moving parts of going up and down the road, the rattles, the little quirky things that you don't know until you've actually started out on the road. And this is going to be his opportunity to make sure that everything is just how he wants it before he completes the build. With that said, not everything's quite finished yet, but that's okay, because he is doing this so that he can get a better idea and understanding of if there are things he would like to change before it's too late. Now, with that said, I need to go grab a couple final things and some sunglasses, because not only do my eyes already see the sun is coming up and it's really painful, but also I look really tired, and well, the world doesn't need to know that. It should be a fun trip though. You guys are coming with me. Of course, as always, if I find anything interesting along the way, I'll do dedicated videos for those, but otherwise, this is about to be super fun. Let's go. Okay, before we take off, I wanted to show you a couple things in the van. I have my little setup back here, and then some of the things that I'm going to be taking. This is Dad's blanket, and this is actually his bed fully out. So originally he has it set up where portion of this actually folds in, and then it can be used as like a couch. But even whenever it's out like this, I feel like there's enough room for me personally, so that's pretty cool. But let me show you what's inside here now. So this will lock while we're driving, and so you can raise it up. And this is where Dad and Mom's kitchen is going to be. So we're trying out some things with the knives to see if they ride okay. In the meantime, I just have a few things in here that we're going to use. We do have the little gas stove, some sunglasses, an extra light, which eventually will be mounted up here. And then my fans are here with just like a hat. Again, this is not how this is going to be long term, but it just kind of gives us an idea of how things move as traveling down the road in this setup, to see if it makes lots of noises or not. And then over here, I'm gonna let Dad open this up so you can see how much room is in here. So right now there's food storage in here, and so you can see it's pretty deep in there, and we're going to be able to put even more stuff in there. So eventually this will be a portion of his kitchen after he gets all of this all finished up. But for now, it's a good storage place. And then we have a plug here so that he can plug in just about anything, including fans. And then down here is the fridge, which is on. He installed these little pulls on it. They're little leather pulls, and it makes it so easy for the fridge to come out. So basically the way it works is, if Dad weren't sitting there, this folds all the way down to the floor, and then this pulls all the way out. And then after it pulls out, you can access all the different compartments. So that's pretty cool. And then under here, have a little under storage as well. So I have a power station that I'm going to be trying out, and then some shoes. And then under the bed, we have the bulky items, which this is my fault, guys. I wanted to bring the bike and the scooter, and they just store weird. Like, there's no way around it. So the bike is a little bit tall, so it has to lay over on its side. And then the scooter also, that one little tiny spot where it folds down is a little tall. So they have to lay on their sides, and thus they come out a little further. Otherwise, they would be perfect right here. But again, that's my bad. And then of course, here's Dad next to the controllers. So the controller is placed right here for his fan. He can access that and just be able to adjust it to either pull in or draw out. There's also a little touch light right here, which is a reading light, which is really cool. So that works out pretty cool. And if Dad likes the placement of this one, he's actually going to put one by the other bed also. Now here is the control panel where you can actually turn on and off all the lights, and then also see the voltage on there. So that's pretty neat. And then for the time being, we have just a little blackout curtain here to kind of have a space between the cab and the back. And this may or may not be something that Dad keeps long term, but for the time being, this is kind of the setup. So we're trying everything out. Okay, Dad's putting the step up, and then we are off. This is gonna be fun. So at last, it is time to take the van out and see what's going on. Now, you've seen kind of the layout. There's a few things that Dad kind of is questioning how they're going to work out. He's trying out the backup camera for the very first trip. We're going to see how everything rides. We're going to see if there's anything that he would like to make changes to along the way. But all in all, this is so exciting. Now, after Dad gets fully finished with the van and everything, he and my mom are going to be able to take some really amazing trips. And so we are very much so looking forward to all of that for them. I don't know if they're going to do a channel though or not, guys. A lot of people have asked, and if they do, it'll be very different than my channel. Will probably be just their adventures that they go on. So we'll keep trying on that one though. But for the time being, time to load up. Let's hit the road.
Yeah, we'll see if the curtain stays up.
Okay, we made our first stop, and everything so far is so good. There's one thing that kind of makes a little rattling noise. Dad was kind of expecting that. It's not so bad that it's like annoying. The other thing that's kind of interesting is getting used to the backup camera being on while it's driving. It actually gives you indicators when people are up on the side, which is very nice. It beeps a little bit, so while we're in the middle of nowhere, it's not really beeping too much because people aren't really around. But when we get to a city area, it beeps a lot. So maybe a setting adjustment is due. Also, we don't know how to turn off the microphone to it yet, so that's another thing that we're going to work on figuring out. He did bring the book and stuff like that, so I'm sure that at some point on our adventures today we'll figure that out. But get a little snack, doing a little stretch, and then we'll hit the road again. Okay, we got something to eat, got something to drink, and I'm gonna be trying something a little different. The only bag of chips of this kind, I'll show you in a minute. I'm very excited about it, but also a little nervous. Okay, so these are the chips. These are the spicy pineapple jalapeno. They're part of the Solid Black collaboration with Doritos. I'm gonna try these out. I don't know how they're gonna be, but we'll see. In the meantime, I think you can see what I'm talking about it picks up on every little thing. So we haven't yet decided if that's good or bad, but we're gonna find out as we continue driving. So, new snacks, new tasks, a beeping noise. It's gonna be an interesting ride. We are just now heading out of Texas, and so this could be interesting. At the same time, we're gonna see if we can find something along the way. Okay, so we've been driving for a while. We came to Atoka, Oklahoma, and we were really excited because there's a little museum here that we really wanted to check out. And online it says it's open until 4. But we just pulled in and it doesn't look so open. So this is the museum, the Atoka Museum and Civil War Cemetery. And there's a sign right by the highway. And we stopped here before and it was closed because of COVID. So this was going to be our opportunity to do something different. But it's definitely closed. There's a padlock on the outside. Don't know, don't understand. And this beeping, you get used to it while you're driving down the road. But wow, when you're sitting still, it is so intense. Also, Dad is changing the placement of the camera to see if that fixes some of this beeping. He pulled it down just a little bit, so now we're not catching the highway every time, because that's what that beeping was. It's all about trial and error, and getting this placed how he needs it to be is gonna be a journey on this trip, I think. Okay, a little bit of an update. We're taking another stop at Lowe's, just because that's a good place to walk around and we want to see if they have any Christmas decorations, to be realistic. But also, Dad, whenever he maneuvered the camera earlier, it fixed so much of the beeping. So it really is about just getting in the van, driving down the road, seeing what works, what doesn't work, what you need to change. And so really glad about that one. But we're gonna go inside and take a little stretch because We were up kind of early this morning. So why Christmas? Well, I want to do something kind of cool this year for my tiny home, and I have a plan, and I'm trying to figure out exactly where the plan's going to take me. Maybe with something like these. I don't know yet. I'll be sharing that over on my Tiny Texas Living channel, however, and I think this year I'm going to be celebrating Vlogmas. I did this a few years back where I did one video every single day leading up to Christmas. So I'm thinking I want to do that, but on the Tiny Home channel, and I may have to invite some friends. I'll keep you guys posted on that later though, but for now I'm going to look around. Okay, so we stopped off and got some gas. With that said, we had gone about 260 miles, and Dad had only gotten to like half a tank. So the van's doing super, super well. He ended up having to put about 12 gallons in. It's a 26, I believe, gallon tank. And so he only needed 12 gallons. So from the time that we left until the time that we stopped to get gas, that's really good. That's super good for a van of this size. You know, it gets me to thinking about all the times that I've been like, I don't want to sacrifice fuel economy
at the next stop sign
with my small van. But at the same time, I don't know. It's still pretty big. It's still pretty big. Anyway, in the meantime, we're trying to find our way back to the highway, taking a little bit of a scenic route. And we've still got a ways to go, but it's really turning out to be a good day. We are about to leave Oklahoma and enter into Arkansas. And I think we're gonna pull off at the visitor stop because we need to find something so we can do a check-in a little bit early. So the place that we're gonna stay sent a notification saying, hey, are you on your way? Would you like to check in digitally? And so we're gonna go ahead and do that because we're gonna pull in a little bit later, and the office will actually be closed. This will just stop us from having to go by the office tomorrow and be like, hey, yeah, we're here, it's us. So we're gonna pull over. This is gonna give us an opportunity to find the paperwork we need to go ahead and do this while we have good service just before we go out into other parts of Arkansas, which it can be kind of spotty with AT&T sometimes. So gonna get all that done, and then we're on our way. Also, another couple things. The backup camera, we tested it, of course, and it was going off right and left, right and left. And then after Dad modified the angle of it, it worked so much better, and it actually stayed going for over 6 hours. So pretty close to like 7.5 hours on one single charge, using it continuously. So that's kind of a little bit of a follow-up on the Halo View. If you are interested in this one, it comes with this particular kit setup that I showed on the channel previously. If you missed that video, go check it out. It comes with one camera and one screen. However, you can pair up to 4 of these cameras, and you can actually, I think, I'm not sure on this, but I think you can control each one of them in your settings to allow it to either make noise or not make noise. And then also, if you want it to have certain kinds of things that come through. We're pretty sure you can turn off the microphone on it, but I'm still working on that one. So we're gonna figure that one out as we're on this trip, but just wanted to let you guys know that so far we are really liking that. The screen is super clear. Okay, there's our stop right there. We're about to pull off, and I really like this visitor stop on 40 as you kind of come through toward the Fort Smith area, because this one is so nice and the people here are just amazing. Every time I've stopped in, they've offered me coffee, they've talked to me, they've given me good tips for traveling in Arkansas. And well, I think you can see as we pull in, there's a nice big facility. Dad's actually going to pull into the RV site over here because he's a little bit longer. You can see there's trucks over here too. There's picnic tables. Everything is still nice and green when we're here. That's nice. And then as we go closer to the main building here, the main building has like a little museum in there, but then also nice restrooms. In fact, the stops going into Arkansas at both Texarkana and then Fort Smith, I've stopped at both of them, and I would highly recommend, if you are traveling through Arkansas at all, to stop at those visitor stops because they have tons of information and really nice people. Oh, Dad, what was that? Is it a little chilly?
A little chilly.
Dad's got on shorts, so this could be interesting. We're getting a cold front, so we'll see how this goes. Oh yeah, earlier I tried these also. I took some time to figure out if I was going to like these or not. So if you've ever had the Verde chips, the Verde chips are very similar to these in that the jalapeno tastes the same, but the pineapple, it's kind of a strange like difference. It adds a lot of sweetness to the chip. It's really hard to describe, but well, let me explain this a little bit better. So the Verde chips have a very peppery taste that isn't so peppery on the tongue, but it was more on the back of the throat. And so these are the same, but I noticed that the more that I ate them, the less peppery it tasted because you start picking up on way more of the pineapple. If you like semi-spicy food and you see these, try them and leave a comment below as to what you thought about them. I'm just curious. Also, I think I'm going to start trying to find some weird snacks and then share them over on the Try channel with you guys, because I know I'm going to find some weird stuff as I'm preparing to travel quite a bit the fall and also winter time. So we'll see what happens. Okay, we just checked in through the digital check-in system. We are back on the road. And now that we're in Arkansas, we have a short distance here, and then we're in Missouri. Missouri is the destination. We have some fun things coming up over the next few videos. I have something super special coming up for you guys on Halloween. I think you're going to love it. And it's going to be something super fun. But in the meantime, I want to show you some more of the really cool things. Oh, the shoulder makes some weird noises, guys. But I want to show you some cool things, and so this is going to be super fun. Dad and I are going to have a revisit of our mini golf challenge. All of these things will be, of course, their own videos. We're going to get the bike and the scooter out again and do some cool stuff, and then who knows what else we'll find. But you'll see that in the upcoming episodes, so you'll have to stay tuned on that one. And then also check out my community tab, because I'll be posting some interesting things on there as well. So with that, we're on the road. Dad and I went ahead and stopped off in Fayetteville so we could get some food because it's getting a little bit later in the day. It's over past 6 o'clock now, so we're gonna check out this place. Dad's eaten here before. He said it's really good, so I can't wait. Oh my goodness, this menu is huge, and there are so many options that sound delicious because we waited really long in the day to eat our actual meal. So I think I'm gonna get the chili verde, which is a really familiar thing to me because I really like verde pork. And so this is gonna be like a verde pork. So it's gonna be in a green sauce, and then it's served with rice and beans and then tortillas. So I figured that's gonna be a good bet. I do a lot of different like green sauces whenever I have Hispanic food or Mexican food. So this should be good. Oh my gosh, that was so good. I am so full. We still have a ways to drive. It's getting dark now. In any other circumstances, this would be a nice time for a little bit of a food coma, but we still have to go. So off we go, back onto the road. The last little stretch. We're less than an hour away, so this will be great. In the meantime, Dad's checking out some travel catalogs. A lot of different places have catalogs throughout the state of Arkansas. Arkansas and Oklahoma are my two favorite states for the materials that they have. I told you guys about the visitor centers, but these are in a lot of places also. So when you're coming to Arkansas, there's really no reason for you not to find really awesome things because they literally show you everywhere. So yeah, but we're not gonna be here in Arkansas. I mean, we will, but we won't. We're going to Missouri, so let's go. Ooh, it is cold. I grabbed my sweater because I was chilly when I got out. Dad is wearing shorts and did not grab his sweater, so he is cold now, despite having eaten spicy food, which made his mouth really warm. Oh, and the air conditioner in Dad's van works super well, but I don't know about the heat, so we're about to find out. Okay, so in theory, it doesn't look like it's super cold, but in reality, it is cold because there's winds, and it's gonna get down into the 40s, but this is much cooler feeling. Oh my goodness, it's gonna get into the 30s tonight. Wow, this is much colder feeling than I was in Colorado, even though it was these temperatures pretty regularly. This is weird. It's cold. It's like legitimately cold. And why? And have we just been in the heat for that long in Texas that now this feels so cold? Maybe. Oh, it's cold. And so we have a couple extra wool blankets and some comforters and things like that, but I'm beginning to think I should have packed hand warmers and maybe a beanie. I didn't bring either one of those things. And yeah, it's supposed to get in the 30s tonight. So I think that we're gonna go into a Walmart before we go to our campsite and get a couple more things because Dad's gonna need these things in the van anyway. So I think we're gonna go and dive into getting some warm items because I can't even begin to explain the chill that comes from the wind. It's like a moist wind, so it's a very different vibe than where I previously was when I was cold. So yeah, Walmart, here we go. Okay, got a few things to keep us a little bit more warm, and if we need anything else, then we'll pick them up once we get to Missouri or in the morning. It's fine. But now we're off to the campsite for real this time. The good times just keep on coming. I looked back and I saw a light. There's not supposed to be a light, so now we're trying to figure out what the light is. It could be the bike. That would be an easy fix. It also could be something different. So, crossing our fingers, it's not anything weird. Okay, so Dad has the van turned off, but we're trying to figure out what this is. So when he turns it back on, we'll be able to see what the light is. It was glowing up into the front, so it made it really weird. I don't see the bike or the scooter light on. Dad's gonna start the van and then we'll find out real fast. Okay, van's on. Tail lights are on. I don't see a light.
Okay.
I don't see a light. It's the...
Go looking through the back. Oh, what was it right here? Yep.
Okay, so it's the license plate light. Okay, that makes way more sense. It's not anything scary. That's good. So he hasn't put that panel over the back door yet to cover that. So it just looked like something was glowing, and he was really afraid that it was like one of the fuses or maybe where you put the battery. Again, this is all what you learn as you go on the first trip in the space before you finish the space. Whew, thank goodness that wasn't messed up. Okay, we just pulled into camp and we're trying to get all set up and everything. It is cold, so I have moved into full-on beanie mode, and I have some gloves, hand warmers, sweatshirt, and we're gonna see how it feels kind of tonight, and if we need to get more blankets or anything like that. I went ahead and pulled out my pajamas, so I'm gonna go change in just a minute. And all in all, this has been a pretty good trip. Now, I'm going to tell you how the first night sleeping in the van actually works out from the perspective of having 2 separate beds and also the cold on an upcoming video. So you'll have to check that out. But I'm also going to show you again all the adventures that we go on, and it should be kind of fun. Dad's getting everything locked up right now. We're getting kind of organized, and well, it's been a wild day. It's been interesting. I definitely am loving this van space though. I mean, look at this. I'm standing up, and if I were in my van, I would be here. So this is much more optimum, definitely. But at the same time, even with the fuel efficiency and him getting like 21.5 miles per gallon, still a little bit of a bigger price tag. Just for comparison, I have a 2020 NV200, very tiny micro camper van, and for the same trip up here, it would have cost me half of what it cost Dad to get up here today. So I'm going to continue updating you guys, letting you know what's going on, but got some organizing to do. So I'm going to get out of here, and remember guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. Bye!